Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome to Scott Candle Horsemanship. So we're just going to go ahead and start checking Sonny out right now. I'm just going to start here with just a little dressage whip, just to kind of touch him all over and see if we've got any spots that are ticklish or we get a response out of. We'll see kind of the skin jump a little bit, and we want to make sure that he's okay with this, touching him all over. Going in between legs, and right there's a little spot he kind of got bothered by. So I'm kind of working on that opposite side leg from underneath, and he's getting a little worried about it because he's not sure anything's supposed to be touching him over on that side. So he did real good there. Again, we're just doing a quick check on him, just checking him out to see if where he's at, if he's jumpy, if he's nervous. So it's been about 6 months since he's been back. But the thing that's been awesome, and pretty much why I do what I do and the way I do it, is that he's remembered everything that I taught him, and he's so much calmer now. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and move on up to my lunge whip and check him out with this. Make sure I can fling this up over him and let him feel all this different stuff around him. So he doesn't get touchy when we go throw the saddle up or get up on him. His head came up a little, and you see there's a little concern, but it's certainly not that bad. Maybe locked up just a touch. He's going to look over here in a minute. So, like I was saying, he was here last year, and when we first got him over here, I tell you what, he'd probably jump out of his shoes if I did this. And he's been back, and we've worked with him a couple of times since he's been back. And the first time he was, obviously a little bit touchy, but nothing like he was in the beginning. There's a nice change. So we know that he's not locked up. He's walking around. He's got his head down, shaking his head. He's not locked up. That's kind of where we want to kind of keep it. If I get him frozen and locked up, then I'm kind of just doing a, kind of forcing stuff on him. Now we're going to go ahead and use our stick and string. It's a little bit heavier rope. Same deal. Again, just letting him feel this thing and checking him out to make sure he's not, there's a little goosiness right there. So we'll see if we can kind of get through that. If I do this wrong and I just keep hammering him with all this stuff, throwing ropes on him, and I don't give him a chance to release, at some point he's going to, it's going to store up in him, and he can kind of at some point kind of come unglued a little bit, kind of just basically saying, you know what, I've had enough of this. I don't want you doing that anymore. So we want to take breaks. Let him get those things out of him. Let him get those licks and chews and those sighs, and we don't have to jump right back on it just because he licked and chewed. I don't want him feeling like, oh boy, what's coming next? Maybe we just walk off a little bit. So he doesn't feel like he's got to just stand there and have his feet locked up. I don't ever want him to feel like that, but I do want him to be able to stand comfortably. Well, we'll go ahead and do this side over here. And I'm going to judge how he's doing. There's a real reaction right there. As far as how hard I do it, how much I do it. I kind of want to get him to react slightly and then find that spot off of it. He looked at something else, which means he didn't care about this thing getting smacked on the ground. That's what we're looking for. I want to build his trust. I don't want him to think that every time he's around me, I'm going to be scaring him. But he has to know how to handle it when he does get a little bit scared. So I've already kind of checked him out. We kind of had some whips and sticks and threw some ropes over him, and he was just, very mellow. Did really well with that. This makes a little bit more noise, and we're going to see how he can look at that. I may have him look at it first because I'm not out here to just scare him. I'm out here to try to build his confidence to things that might be a little scary. I want him to get a little worried about something and then figure out how to deal with the worry. I don't want to continue to add pressure to him because he's already got pressure on it. There's enough on him for him to be able to learn how to deal with it. I don't have to have him jumping out of his shoes in order for him to learn something. I'll look for his ears, maybe looking at something else. Look for eyes to soft. There's a little bit of a change right there. I'm going to just go ahead and stop. And now I'm going to let him take a breath, because chances are he was holding his breath there a little bit. This time that we're taking his break is the time that where he's really going to be learning and processing. He's not learning or processing anything while I got this thing rubbing on him. Good time here while we're sitting here waiting for him to relax. It's a good time for us to get a breath. Sometimes when we're working with these guys, we can store stuff up. Just want him to release. Maybe we'll take a little walk and see if that'll kind of get him breathing normal. There's the change. We'll come on to this side here. He was kind of trying to tell me that he's a little bit nervous, doesn't really want me on this side. I like that he's kind of turning around looking, so I'm going to let him smell that. Tells me he's just kind of going, what is that thing? I like that. Good job. You always want to be careful on a horse that's jumpy. If you've opened it up, that you don't throw something over him that he sees on the other side of him and have him jump over on top of you. You can eventually get over there and throw it over his back and all that stuff, but you got to make sure he can handle one side at a time first. I mean, he's got a foot cocked, so I'm pretty happy with his mental state, but I feel like he's just just a touch locked up. Not a whole lot, but just a touch locked up. So I may let's just walk off here a little bit and see if we can get him to unlock. If you go too fast with the desensitizing and you throw too much on him at one time and you don't give him, there we go, that's what we wanted. And we don't give him those breaks in between, you'll actually just wind up storing that anxiety. And then it just kind of stays in there and it doesn't feel good on the inside to him. And then the actuality is you're actually going the wrong way. You're actually going to make him more scared of things. So take your time. This doesn't have to get done in one day. If I'm up on him and I've got a jacket that makes noise and I move, and I don't want him to try to jump out from underneath it. Yeah, it's a little bit different. There we go. His eyes are really softening up there. I like that. So just because we got this all prepared doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to flinch or jump a little bit when I put this saddle up on him. But hopefully it will help and you won't have too big of a problem with it. And he handled that like a champ, like he's done it all his life. It came up a little bit, but he's all right. So this is the first time he's been saddled in 6 months. And when I first kind of got him over here last year, he was pretty jumpy when I would go to saddle him. And it's not like hasn't been saddled before. He's been saddled and ridden, but he's just been nervous about it. So that was actually really nice. That was his first time, so very happy with that. I like that. I'm going to stop with him for the morning and probably come back out and work with him again this afternoon. But that was really nice. This little guy's just got a really good brain, a good heart, and I really think he's going to make a nice little horse. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you later.